Hi everybody, Allison here. I'm coming to you from as many of you know, we moved homes this summer and my yoga room is still a work in progress. You can see my rope walls haven't been hung. We've got some boards back here, so don't mind the mess. This is where I'm practicing these days till everything gets done. So the goal today for practice is to roll around on the floor. Honestly, it's a lot of how I practice anymore. I sort of have to find a way to balance my body out after my regular workouts with a lot of heavy weightlifting. And so often I end up with a blanket on the floor or on my mat so I can just sort of roll around and do some deep work. So it won't be a super long practice, but I'm gonna sort of hit you guys with some of my favorite, a lot of hip work and just some spine work to sort of either help you warm up or wind down. I think it's great work to be able to just like be on your back, be on the floor. So all you really need is a blanket. I just have mine on the floor. It's comfy enough for me, but if you want to put that on your mat, there's a little more stick. And then grab a block just so that we can use it at the end. And when you're ready, go ahead and lay down on your mat, be comfortable. And I just like to go knees bent, hands to belly. Feels best in my low back, but if you want legs straight like Shavasana, you can surely do that. And just take some deep breaths here. Feel the back lungs, back ribs. Move into the floor and away from the floor as you breathe in and out. And just kind of get a sense for how you're feeling. Sometimes I like to slowly turn my head right and left, as well as nodding up and down. And let's just keep the breath slow and steady throughout our little practice here. So when you're ready, you can hug knees into chest. Give yourself a big squeeze and just kind of see how the back feels and hip flexors. And you can see here I'm starting to very gently, very mildly tip a little bit side to side. Again, don't tip over, but just start to shift your knees to the right and to the left. And then allow those rocks to get bigger to where eventually your knees will stay into your chest, but your arms can come loosely overhead. And you can see I'm still tipping. And there's my back crack of the day. And then you let the knees like tip all the way over and you kind of roll with it here. Come onto your back, tip all the way to the other side. And you see I'm like letting the arms go. And you might feel a little bit silly at first, but if you're doing this at home, like who's judging, right? Who cares? And you can see I've got my hair down because if you've got like a ponytail in the weird spot, then your hair's just gonna get all messed up, which is fine, but it's probably easier to just take out any ponytails. Just do this a few more rounds, and you can go slower than me or faster than me. Sometimes I just like to linger. And then the next time you tip over to the right, go ahead and stay over there. Rest the head on your right arm, left hand in front of you, knees are bent up towards you. Just kind of pause here. Pick up that left foot, point the left toes, and really bend the left leg. So the heel pulls really close to the sit bone. And then watch here, you want to reach the left knee toward the wall behind you. So you'll feel your glute fire and your hamstring. And then when you're ready, sweep your left arm back and hold the outer foot with your hands. Thigh stretch here. Draw the tailbone down, pull your belly back. Move the left knee behind you. But use your left arm, left hand to push the heel towards your sitting bone. Just take a couple more breaths, sort of seeing what's up in the left thigh, left hip flexor. And then as you release your left leg, straighten your left leg on the diagonal, turn the left toes down, and start to prop up here on your forearms. So you'll sort of look like you're doing Sphinx pose, But watch my left leg. It's on the diagonal, and boom, really sharpen it up and curl all 5 of the left toes under. And then you want to really turn your belly to the right. So it's like a twist. When you're ready, lower your head to your right hand and stretch your left arm straight by your ear. So now I'm reaching left hand from left heel. Turn the belly to the right. Ooh boy. Breathe deeply. Take a few more breaths. See how I'm walking left fingers way, way, away from you. Undo as you're ready. Go slow, and then you'll roll to your back. Get back centered on the mat. Arms go back overhead, and this time tip over to the left. So we'll repeat all that side two. Head resting on left arm, right hand in front of you. Pick up the right leg, bend your right leg. So it's a hamstring action to pull the heel in. And then use right glute to reach the right knee toward the wall behind you. Sweep your right arm back, hold your outer foot, and then push your heel towards you. Move right knee back, but tuck tailbone down slightly. Pull the belly to the front of your spine and breathe. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Great, so straighten your right leg as you release. Prop up onto those forearms again. You'll be off your mat, it's cool. And tuck the right toes under. Really spin the right thigh down. Turn the belly over to the left, and then you can lower head to left hand. Stretch your right arm. See how I crawl the fingertips away. So I'm reaching from right fingers to right heel. Sharpen up the right leg, and then really try to wrap that right sideways down into the left. So it's like big psoas, side body, hip flexor stuff. I think it's super intense. You'll have to see for yourself. What do you think? Breathe. So once you feel even, slowly come up and out. Roll onto your back. And just pause again, whatever your sort of home base is. Mine's knees bent, hands to belly. You can go Shavasana, but just take a few moments. Great, if your legs are bent, straighten them and really activate the legs. So slide out through the heels, interlace all 10 fingers, spin the palms up, and then inhale, sweep arms overhead. So now the work is to reach from the heels of your hands to the heels of your feet and get as long and stretchy as you can. Really pull your belly back and up. Bend your left leg only and roll onto your right side. Keep the arms in place, stack your legs again. So you really want to try to balance on that right side and then really press out through the heels of the hand, the heels of the feet. Be on your outer right hip. It might be a little lumpy, that's okay. And get long in the side body. I like to even grab the left wrist with the right hand here and really pull. So that left side's really elongating. Good, go ahead and release. Pause in the center, reestablish spinning the palms away. Good, bend your right leg, roll onto your left side. Stack your legs, this time hold the right wrist and pull with left arm. Stretch from the right heel to the heel of the right hand. Get long in the right side and balance on the left. Breathe here. Really zip the belly button back and up. Good. And release. Back to your home base. Pause on your back, center your body, and just check in here. So yeah, it's like we always return to home base. How are you feeling? Bend your knees. Hip width distance, feet and knees. Arms by your side. If you've been to any of my classes or games or pretty much any teacher at One Tree Yoga, you've done this surely. Spinal undulation. So essentially what it is cat-cow on your back. So on your inhale, it's subtle. I'll move my arms so you can see my back. You're gonna tip your pelvis forward and try to arch your low back off the floor. So like you could slide your hand under there. I've got all this space. And then on the exhale, tuck your tail the other way. Pelvis tips towards your face. And now I can't slide my hand under because I'm pushing belly to spine, spine to floor. So it's rocking. Again, inhale, tip pelvis forward. Exhale, tailbone tucks, belly to spine. Your butt stays on the floor. So you just inhale, tip pelvis forward, away from your face. Exhale, tip pelvis towards your face. So if your pelvis was a bowl, inhale, tip away, arch your back. Exhale, tip towards you, belly to spine. Do that a few more rounds. Your head will sort of naturally nod, chin down as you arch your back. Exhale, chin lifts as you tuck your tail. A few more. Last couple. Good, bring your arms overhead, separate your feet mat width. We're gonna do the same pelvic rocks, but we're gonna add one more thing. So inhale, arch your low back, tip your pelvis forward. Exhale, as you tuck your tail, tip your knees to the right, and see how I come to the outer right foot, inner left foot, and I peel the bottom of the feet up. Good, inhale, knees up, arch your back, stick your butt out. Exhale, tuck your tail, tip knees to the right, or left, sorry. And then proceed. So on your inhale, knees up, you arch the back. Exhale, tail tuck, knees tip one side. Go nice and slow on your own here. And you can see I'm sort of naturally rolling my head the opposite way of the knees, and then it comes to center in the middle. You can do that, but if it makes it too confusing, don't worry about it. Just sort of let what happens naturally happen. And if this is too quick, go slower. Linger here. You could take an extra breath when you tip your knees. You also could go faster than me, right? This is sort of up to you. But in general, if we're sort of rolling around on the floor, I think slowing down is probably a really good approach and a good practice for most of us to pull into our lives. Last one or two. So we're gonna keep this up. This time stretch your arms out like a T shape. And when you tip your knees to the right, roll your head to the left. And then when you tip your knees left, roll right and really reach out through the opposite hand. So if I'm rolling head right, I'm reaching out through the left hand. Good, and then keep going. Just a few more. Do each side one more time, right and left. Okay. So whenever you get done, come back to center. Pause in the middle. Slow your breath down if you need to. Soften where you can. Be okay with this slowing down thing, guys. I promise you, it's probably gonna help your life quite a bit. I know it has for me. Learning to slow down, learning to be more still, and learning when and where is like appropriate to sort of put that into your regular life. Great. Separate your feet, knees, hip width, cross right ankle over left thigh. If you know me, you know I love a good figure four. Pick up the legs, thread the right arm between them. If you can't interlace your hands like I am around the leg, you could just hold your leg. You could also grab a strap. I think most of you know that, but if not, don't feel like you can't incorporate props. I love props. Get all the props that you need, but pull with your arms here. And at least for the first few moments, I like to rock a little side to side. It helps me sort of see sort of where even is on my back and where it feels most helpful in the right hip stretch. So take some big breaths here. So keep your legs in figure four, let go with your arms. Listen carefully, I'll show you. Left hand, hold the outer right foot. Outer foot, so see I just hook it around. Keep hold here, left hand or right hand can just go on the floor, and then put your left foot on the floor. So now I've got sort of this single leg figure four. Watch carefully, I'm gonna keep this 90-degree bend, but slide your whole right leg over to the left. You might go like half an inch straighter, but see how my leg is still bent. And really go for it. So get your right thigh to cross the belly midline. You could stay here. If you need a strap, you could always hook a strap around your foot. And then push up with the outer foot and away from you with the sole of the foot. So you push the sole of your foot to the left and the outer leg up toward the ceiling, but your hand's gonna win. And just really reach that right knee away from you and feel what this does to the outer hip. It's pretty magical for me. It's not pleasant, but it's really, really helpful. Breathe here. Good, pick up your left leg, stack the knees this time. Supta Gomukhasana, now hold over the tops of both feet. See how my knees are crossed? Pull down, bend your elbows. Take a few breaths here. You sort of have to push with both hands, but breathe into the back body. Soften your shoulders. Good, release. Come back to your center, your neutral. Pause here before we repeat that on side two. Yeah, like notice how the right hip feels compared to the left. It can be quite different. Cross left ankle over right thigh, figure four is first. Thread the left arm between your legs, interlace your hands, and pull. Breathe. Last couple of breaths here. Keep your legs here, release your hands. This time, right hand holds the outer left foot. Put your left hand on the floor and put your right foot on the floor. Now keep that bend in your left knee. Slide your whole shin way to the right, like knee over the center of your chest over to the right. So you gotta go quite farther than you think. And then start to push the outer left foot up. So now it's like my shin bone's at a diagonal and my knee's 90-degree bend. Cross that left thigh over to the right. Really push the sole of the left foot to the right and push the outer left leg up. Move your left knee away from you and really fight it a little bit. It's like really engage this outer left hip by pushing up and over. as you pull a little bit with the arms, so you give a little bit of rub there, a little bit of agitation against what you're trying to do. A little tug of war, if you will. A couple moments here. Pick up your right leg, stack the knees. Hold the outer left or right foot as well with your left hand. Supta Gomukhasana, pull with your arms and rock a little bit side to side. Couple more breaths. Awesome. Go ahead and release. Bend both knees, put your feet down, come back to center, your home base, pause. We're almost there, guys. Let's just do a couple more things. Keep your knees bent, but really walk your heels toward you. Feet and knees about hip width, and then this time, bring your arms all the way overhead, backs of hands to the floor, and see how I tuck my shoulders away from the ears. Take a big inhale here, exhale like we did earlier. Tuck your tail and push your low back into the floor, posterior tilt. So instead of an arch in your back, is a big press down. Inhale, lift your hips up, bridge pose. Exhale fully here, so come all the way to empty. And then on no breath, zero breathing, think about rolling down like the worm, one vertebra at a time. Low back touches, and then inhale, arch your back. Exhale, tuck your tail. Inhale, hips up, bridge. Stay here, exhale fully. And then on no breath, it's like each vertebra touches from the top to the bottom. Repeat, inhale. So we're trying to find a little Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, tuck your tail. It's like stomach vacuum. Inhale, up you come. Exhale fully. Roll down one vertebra at a time on no breath. Good, keep going. No breath, roll down. Let's do two more. Last one. Pause here. This time stretch both legs up to the ceiling, arms stay overhead. Really glue your legs. So this is an attempt to not only use the belly a little, but stretch the back. So I want you to avoid heave-hoing. So you're not trying to force your feet overhead, but you're trying to use your belly. And regardless how far you go, you're gonna get a good stretch in the back. So big inhale. Exhale, try to get your toes to or towards your hands, one vertebra at a time, like this. You might only get here. Some of you might get all the way toes to hands. Pause here, exhale. And then unroll one vertebra. Oh, it feels so good in my back at a time. Scoop the belly. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, unravel. Just do that a couple more times. Big back stretch. Again, even if you don't get very far, notice I'm not using muscular effort. I'm going really slow. Slow, 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 slow. Pause on the inhale. Last round or two. I'm going to do one more. Great. Hug your knees in. Rock side to side. Awesome, you guys. So last thing, grab your block. I love me something that's really, looking to make the low back happy, the sacrum feeling good. So if you take your block flat and slip it under your hips like a bridge, like a little mini bridge. And then because you've got the slidey blanket, you can do this. Now watch, I'm gonna hold the block with my hands. At the same time that I straighten my legs, I'm gonna push the block down like 1 or 2 inches. So it sort of essentially tucks all my booty flesh under and my low back's gonna feel so good. So feet wide, toes off the floor. You're gonna scrape your heels, feet stay wide. At the same time, push the block and your body will slide upward. So the block ends up right on the squishy part of my butt, right at my tailbone, right under my sacrum. Feet wide, let the toes relax, and then tuck your shoulders. I go for cactus field goal shape here, chin to chest, and then you can let the legs relax. And if this doesn't feel good in your low back, you guys just bend your knees. But essentially, if this block's in the right place, it tucks your tail, your belly should feel good, back feel good. Get your chest opening on. Close your eyes and just take a few moments here. So truly, this just barely scratches the surface of what's possible when we just roll around on the floor. It's one of my favorite ways to practice. If you are into this, you should come check out our Yin Yasa classes. I teach Sunday mornings at the East Studio, 10:30. Gabe, starting right after Labor Day, will be teaching Thursday mornings, East Studio at 9:30 Yin Yasa. It's where we really get low and kind of wiggle around, and we at least spend a good chunk of class rolling around on our backs, on the floor, on our bellies. It's sweet. So just take a few moments here. And if you feel good after 20-30 minutes of this, like we did today, imagine how good you feel after hour 75 minutes. It's pretty awesome. Now, y'all know me, I could stay here all day. So you're welcome to stay here as long as you want. But whenever you're ready, then I ask that you just exit slowly. Like, what's the hurry? Take an extra minute. And maybe even make your way up to sit. You're super more than ready to sort of end with a nice seated meditation, because my hips feel great. I feel really chill. So good time for that. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for your time. Hope you like it. Namaste.